right, let's see what Na'Vi bring to the play here. This is a starting round. Luminosity have to stop it where it starts. And already Fallen going to go get a little bit of a push down towards that fountain. Just not going to find too much. A little bit of information gathered, but, you know, it's what we see on this. And once again, you said, you know, Luminosity do like to take over those bathrooms. They like that little bit of control there, but Na'Vi heading straight down towards long.
That was just a very small information gathering. If he doesn't spot anyone there, he knows they can stack the B bomb site. There's no reason not to. So once again, he spots more information. But now, a lot of pressure over towards long A. Luminosity, they're forced into a bunch of rotates. Only steal over at the B bomb site. With bathroom control, Na'Vi has the option of falling back quickly and hitting that site. So Luminosity is actually forced into a very passive setup early on in this round.
Yeah, Bolto is going to come up with the goods at least. Guardian's going to be picked up there, but no one else really showing their hand from Na'Vi. The smokes have come out. C's position is duly noted. The smokes, the flash is going to start coming into place here as Na'Vi do just restrict the site so perfectly, bringing it back into this close range position. And we're seeing Zeus trying to keep him held back here. Now Luminosity on the retake. They do at least have the kit towards Steel. coldzera going to be looking in for a little bit of a cheeky pickup there. He's not going to find too much. Flamey just tapping away, keeping time on their side. And that bomb is taken, and Na'Vi just buying Fur. Where was that shot? It just gave Flamey all the time in the world, and this is an absolute mess of a round. But Na'Vi do close it down, keeping 4 alive.
I have no clue how Flamey survived that long, but he gets those 2 kills out eventually. All entrances for Na'Vi, despite losing Guardian early on, they find the next 2 kills and they get into that bomb site. And this is the thing, some of these bomb sites are so hard to retake. We saw Luminosity on Mirage with a couple of very nice retakes early on in the half, but here on Overpass, it's all choke points. And they just couldn't get out of them in time. They couldn't find the kills trying to retake things, so they suffer. Now you see a bit of an investment here from Luminosity. Scout onto Fallen, can't land the tag quite yet, but he gets the headshot onto Flamey with the repeat. There's also a shotgun onto Seal to work with as well.
So already a nice little advantage building up. Nothing they can recover just yet, and so far back, it's not something he's even considering, but Fallen adjusting well. Going to be picking up himself towards long, but you can see the rest of Luminosity maybe expecting more presence elsewhere on the map, but already Fallen is to be found by Edward, so removing that threat from long and keeping Luminosity guessing as to where this T-side's actually going to be heading.
Yeah, still Na'Vi was just so far back, especially after losing that first member. Very passive. Edward's the only one getting aggressive, and he's alone. So he's got to be a little bit careful over here towards long A, trying to spot anyone peeking, but just now Na'Vi is starting to group up together. Zeus and C's going to work together to clear out stairs. C's going to check to his right. He's not, but that is okay because Cold's actually on the other side of the wall.
X-Ray gets the best of all of us, don't worry. But still, Luminosity do have the 2 players on the site right now, but as you said perfectly, oh my word, Bolts, that was a bit of a stunner. Just flaming the scalp of Guardian so quickly, and Fur's going to find it with a deagle, but bear in mind, Guardian's still so low right here. Edward's going to take a little bit of damage. We're down to this 3v3, but do they know who's waiting, lurking in the depths of Steel? He just needs to land one of these shots, and he could do so much work. Oh, he only gets 1, and it tags out C's, and not by much, and Cold not be able to do the damage that he requires. He does get the first, but that is it, and once again, Na'Vi go low, but they pick up the round. Right,
they're losing 3 members. Again, Luminosity doing good damage on that eco round. So well done from them, even though Na'Vi does stabilize there at the end. So go up 2-0. And still, I mean, it's going to be, look at this, they go full SMGs to just rebuild up that bank. Two UMPs, the MAC-10 onto Zeus. I would expect Zeus to just try and go farming. He's just going to be hyper-aggressive with this thing, knowing he's not going up against any armor on the Luminosity side. This MAC-10 can just do some work.
This is the cleanest eco I think I've seen the whole tournament. You normally see like a P250, a nade, something, but Luminosity just completely clean this one, just stacking out a little towards B. You still got Fallen just trying to peer down towards A, and that is exactly where Na'Vi are heading, and the farming mission's going to begin real soon, just trying to build up any bank possible. Zeus just leading the way. He's just leaping around those corners. That MAC-10 going to rip through anyone standing in his way. Actually getting stuck a little there, but Guardian's going to bail him out. That Fallen's going to go down, and this should be a very swift cleanup by Na'Vi.
Yeah, all SMGs getting these kills too, so bonus money is building. Edward, Guardian, Zeus all getting some. C's closes things out. No one falls for Na'Vi, so now they can upgrade some of those weapons. They are going to have an AWP in Guardian's hands right off the bat. 3 AK-47. Zeus still has that MAC-10, but he upgrades it right at the end. And Luminosity, they have an op as well in Fallen. So we are going to see an early duel. Did I just see a shotgun get bought by Zeus on accident?
Was that did drop it in spawn? Can't you see? We'll have to check that one out. See if that did happen indeed, or if we're just going mad. It may have happened, but still, at least we do get to see the 2 AWPs for certain. That is one thing coming to the play now. Guardian and Fallen going to be the ones to be picking those up, of course, but Fallen did lead the fray in that first round, or at least the first map, should I say, with the AWP, and Guardian then picked up the slack and carried his team through. Well, not necessarily carried, but, you know, started to fire on all cylinders towards the end. And this is a different approach from Na'Vi, really taking their time. They want to find out what they're up against. They want to find out and get the limited utility away from Luminosity as much as possible. as it is a much slower approach to this round.
Yeah, Fallen takes one shot over towards the doorway. For Na'Vi, it's just seized out there. So they probe over towards bathroom. They haven't overtaken it quite yet, but Na'Vi has enough members to watch for any kind of push. Keep the B players honest by applying just minimal pressure for the time being. And meanwhile, you know, 2 members of Na'Vi working their way up long A. Edward's gonna have a set smoke for us. And look at this, look at the aggressiveness from Luminosity in the mid round. They're gonna retake bathrooms, 3 members pushing up. And Bolts has a clever angle, and he's just going to keep working for it, and he's going to see no one here from Na'Vi, so it's going to allow for quick rotates down those stairs.
The danger now is Zeus. What can he do here? Nothing is the answer. Steel's going to catch him out. Now, everything's going to be pretty much found. The only option would be long here, but Fur already starting to get himself over towards B. Fallen's gone and found C's. This is looking very good for Luminosity. Great map control coming through mid-round from them, as you noted, really starting to extend themselves here, leaving Guardian and Flamey so far away from where they want, just 10 seconds left. And this was the point of the desk that they were expected to see on map 1. You can't allow Na'Vi to have the whole way. You have to interrupt those set pieces, stop them getting that, and that was certainly a great display of how to do it.
Yeah, that was a really nice push in the bathrooms in the mid-round, because they're just saying we haven't seen or heard anything yet. You know, we haven't felt too much pressure at this A bomb site, so let's go see if we can find it. Let's push forward, and the information they get, they don't get into a battle, but the information they have allows, you know, Fallen to be prepared over at that B bomb site, allows them to get aggressive because they know they have a pinch down those stairs. So really, really well done from LG. They don't lose a single member. That allows money to be built up.
And we know what happens when they do get those guns in their hands. It seems like we've seen this before, but whether or not it's going to continue is yet to be found out. But Bolts and Fallen going to be pushed slightly further forward by those toilets, not be playing so passively this time. However, Na'Vi also reciprocating that, playing quite slowly, being cautious with their approach, checking every corner, because they know Luminosity do like occasional dabbles into aggressiveness and kind of plays forward, but this time just holding the angles, buying the time. Na'Vi like to play around that 40-second marker before they build in, and they've still got their smokes, they've got their mollies. They can clear out these corners in the last couple of seconds.
It's basically the same setup Na'Vi had as the last round of Cold. He's playing right behind his own team's smoke, so this might catch Na'Vi off guard if they try and prod up towards Catwalk. I mean, they're going to see that smoke and not expect anyone to be in the corner like this, but now that it fades, Cold's just going to jump back. I think he got some intel. I think he heard something. So he knows they're there, going to drop the Molotov, prevent them from coming up. Still 2 members of the B bomb site for Luminosity, and Na'Vi, they made very little pressure across the map. They had some presence over towards A. Now it's starting to fall away, and once again, look at this Luminosity starting to get aggressive over towards the highway, over towards bathrooms.
This is really nice, and there's no one going to be greeting them there. Steel is pretty much the only man towards B, though, at least very, very close by. Cold isn't too far off, bearing in mind, but this is still going to be a bit of a tough one here. Na'Vi could at least take the site, maybe get the bomb down. Steel has got himself across now. And here we go, Na'Vi going to make the play towards the site itself, and it looks like they're playing for the retakes, but it's not going well. Guardian and Flamey picking up the kills. They've just broken in again, just taking down the Luminosity members. And sadly, that slightly aggressive touch that we saw coming through just didn't pay dividend at all, as Fallen is your last man standing.
This time they weren't as convincing with the aggression. They didn't push as far forward as, you know, to get that early flank. They just kind of found out there's no one in bathrooms, but they weren't far enough along to really impact the round. Not to mention the defense of that B bomb site just got shattered. Yeah. I mean, Na'Vi doesn't waste any time. Guardian gets an opening pick, and you can see Na'Vi just streams behind the bomb site into the water pit. That's the crucial point of that map. Once you control that as terrorists, a retake becomes much harder for Luminosity. So it's all up to Fallen to save this weapon, and he's getting hunted down. Only Edwards close to him, but this is going to spot him out. This is going to at least let his teammates know where he is now, and can he stay alive? Changes the angle. Zeus is coming. He misses the shot, though. Now gets more aggressive. Misses a second one, but he stays alive just in time. Critically to have that AWP.
It still looks so calm under pressure, considering how close that got, but 4-1 is the scoreline. And I think you noted it well, that just didn't quite work it out as quickly as that previous time. And are we going to be seeing the same thing again? This is a 4-star pick round from Luminosity. They're going for everything they can. And Fallen taking a bit more of an aggressive stance this time.
Now he's got to be the one to do something, and his teammates have Famas behind this, and it's only because they had 5 members survive on that first round they won. Their economy is completely reset, it's shattered, but they are able to squeak out this one buy just because they had so many people survive. Didn't have to do too many rebuys into the next round, and Na'Vi, they switched the pace a little bit. This time it's 4 members aggressively over towards long A. It's only going to be 1 player, Zeus, watching for any kind of sewers push.
Now, Fallen has been pushing up here with Bolts. Let's remind ourselves, and this time it's not gone too well for Na'Vi. Again, the open here is a big advantage, and actually he does get away just about alive. Bolts is still holding that angle as well, so this one's going to be a little tougher here now for Na'Vi. Luminosity locking this down, trying to slow down what Na'Vi are up to, and Zeus has pulled himself across, but it looks like Na'Vi is still considering themselves towards A.
Yeah, what can Na'Vi do? They've fallen back. The previous times they've done this, they've just fallen back and hit B, but now that the man advantage is in Luminosity's favor, Bolts has this advanced position, and he hears these footsteps, so they know it's got to be coming towards A, and he's going to swing out. Zeus isn't ready for it. He gets dropped. Nicely done from Bolts, eventually getting traded off, and now they've got to get to the site. Fallen's in a tough spot, though. He hits a shot anyways. Traded off by Guardian, 2-on-3 now.
Edward can be playing slightly further back. Guardian does have the bomb to hand. That is yet to go down. And it doesn't look like he wants to do it just yet. He's got 19 seconds here. This is dangerous play from Guardian. All or nothing, and that's certainly the start towards all. 13 seconds. Fur takes down Edward. Can he do it again for Na'Vi? He's run out of time, and Fur says no. Luminosity by a whisker again denying Na'Vi now. Second round on the board for them.
Yeah, Guardian getting hyper-aggressive there. Finds that pick. A beautiful shot, but just players all around him so close. Coming out of bank, not prepared for him to be quite in that position. So Na'Vi, they are going to force buy into this round, though. Pistol onto Edward. This is actually a pretty solid buy, despite the pistol onto Edward. Galil on C's. He's got no utility to work with. They've got some smokes and Molotovs and flashbangs to work with. And they're going to set up in basically a default. C's is going to get into a little battle with Seal, but Fur actually is the one to clean him out. So nicely done from Luminosity. Again, a one-man advantage, and they're able to survive and fall away. Even get another one. Steal. Rex Zeus.
This is outstanding. Bearing in mind, Bolts and Colt, Zera just pushed down as well, took the aggressive fight. They saw them coming up. They retracted back, left it to the duo over by B to pick up where they left off, and it just works out. Luminosity, when they get that map control either early or mid-round, Na'Vi don't seem to have that answer just yet, but then again, Na'Vi is still in the lead, so let's not write him out. And Bolts, little does he know, he just connected perfectly towards Edward, but Flame is going to put him down, leaving Cold Zera in the position we saw Guardian trying to play just in that last one, playing pretty up close and personal now.
There's a small window of opportunity to get into the site. Cold's the only defender, and he's fallen back behind into a choke point. So they're going to play the man advantage on the Luminosity side. Na'Vi's got to get this bomb planted, but they haven't even gotten into the site yet. They obviously don't know this, but now that window's kind of up. There's 3 members here for Luminosity. All of a sudden, this take becomes much more difficult to manage, especially when Fur's going to be there. He grabs one, but Guardian Flamey, all of a sudden, entries onto the bomb site. It's a 1-on-2. Flamey, can he do it? Cold playing very passively with the AWP.
They both have orbs at this point. They could probably switch it up, I can imagine. Maybe Fallen can find something, but Flamey taking the fight, and Cold stops him in his tracks, and Na'Vi's reign of dominance does get slightly halted here. Once Luminosity have started to get these bigger buys going, once they had that double open play, it worked out. They know Na'Vi have not a great deal to go into this round with, maybe P250s, maybe a Deagle or 2 or something of that variety, but already Fur going to be going in for the SMG, looking to maybe farm up some of that money as well.
Luminosity loves their anti-ecos. These guys, I mean, you can see just from the MP9, but they're just going to go farming on both sides. You can see Fur, he's just going to be so aggressive, charging towards the action, but it's been Cold and Steel who get the initial 2 kills. And will Fur even be able to get into the action? He does get 1, but that gets smashed down by Luminosity.
That was a real lockdown. There was so little damage done by Na'Vi at that point.
They had no chance.
Considering Fur was literally chasing them down a second away.
Double op setup as well comes out now for Luminosity, so they feel like they built up enough money to invest in it to make it worthwhile. That's going to be on Cold and Fall, and we saw this come out in Mirage, who had a little bit of success early on before getting shut down by Na'Vi. And Fallen, it looks like he wants to get aggressive, looking away for any kind of pop flash. He sees one, can't land the shot though. Now he's just got to fall away. He's got backup bombing flashes over the wall just to provide support.
Yeah, Bolts has been playing that position pretty darn well. He's been saving players from kind of being caught up on the pullback, trying to not let them go down. We saw the smoke just coming out, letting, I think it was called Zero last round, who actually came over, maybe just had a better spawn than Fallen did. So Na'Vi this time slowly but surely checking these angles, having to take so much time to clear this out, and Fallen hasn't fallen that far back, but he didn't get the shot off somehow, and he fall away now.
Very fortunate is Na'Vi. Fallen didn't spot him crossing over to party, so he comes from the other angle, and it's a very awkward shot. Fallen's not ready for it, so he can't land it. But Na'Vi get away with one a little bit there. Fallen's still being aggressive though around bathrooms.
This is a dangerous play, considering that smoke is so close. He knows his play is here. He's not doing this without knowing there may be a threat. He is wanting these fights. He's wanting to take these sort of angles, and he might just get it. He sees someone swing out, but Zeus is going to catch him with his pants down there. Fallen, he may have lined it up, but he certainly didn't hit the shot. Now Fur wants a bite of the cherry as well. Goes in, sprays down. Edward says no. Suddenly, Na'Vi, when Luminosity are taking these random little bits of aggression here and there, are winning out on these trades, and Na'Vi have the side to hand. Bolts is the only thing in their way.
Not for long though. Edward drops him. Nicely done. There's another good trade by Guardian. They've just taken over this bomb site completely. So you know, Fallen gets aggressive with that ult because he's got 2 members in that A site behind him to recover the defense. But once Fur pushes forward, he falls as well individually. There's no chance for a trade, so the defense just kind of shatters one by one. Cold, all he can do here is save this up, but it's going to be another good round for Na'Vi. Already at 5 on the terrace half of Overpass. This is a good start for them.
Yeah, a really nice start themselves. Luminosity starting to break back in once they got those bigger buys going, but you saw the kind of confidence almost building back, or maybe a little bit too much aggression, not quite, you know, picked... I guess putting it in the perfect way, that's the thing. You know, we get so much hindsight. It's all 2020 for us, I guess, with X-Ray and such. But for them, getting the perfect balance of aggression, not overextending when you don't quite have that advantage is so hard to predict. But that round didn't work out for them. Now we're seeing a bit of a shoddy buyout coming out.
Yeah, very shoddy, but we're going to see some aggression over towards these short sewers. Flamey, he gets blinded and just forced back. Fur takes a little bit of damage. He peeks, spots some, but doesn't do much. So they're just going to fall away. Na'Vi, they feel a little bit of pressure, and they're just going to play it safe. Scary part is, they only see a CZ, and if they get lured into the idea that this might be an eco round, and Fallen still got this AWP to work with over at long, that can punish him.
And I kind of like this play. It's like, you know, Inferno B, when you present yourself on that B side, just showing like, hey, I've only got a pistol, but it doesn't seem to matter if you only got a pistol, because Fur's already done some damage. Guardian's fallen. We're down to 4 here for Na'Vi.
Yeah, what do they do again now? But actually, Edward, the pressure's over towards long, and Edward gets so aggressive in Bathroom Fallen, he has no way to fall back. He's got to fight his way back, and he's going to get a little bit smoked off. There's a gap in that smoke. It's not perfect. He spots the leg. He's waiting for it. He legs him. 14 of 15 HP on Season. Edward, Fallen, trying to do what he can. Meanwhile, they're playing very passively. Finally, Flamey gets that kill. It's going to allow him to get in just a little bit, but Fallen's already relocated. They might not be expecting this. Flamey's getting aggressive, but there he is. Fallen, hero play. Gets a second one as well. Jumping on top. Can't get the no-scope, but he's done his job. Brought it into a 2-on-2.
Above and beyond, let's just call it for now. Fallen going massive for him, but still, just makes no impact. Now it's down to Coldzera in this 1v2. The bomb's not planted, and it doesn't matter. Zeus just takes the fights and wins the rounds, and Na'Vi looking a little bit stronger here, even without Guardian into that round. He lost himself out so early on to that CZ. It didn't matter. They picked up the slack, and Fallen, for everything he did, they still couldn't close it down.
It's a very smart play from Edward when he sees where the pressure is being applied by the defense. He says, okay, you have 2 members over here. Well, that means you can't have a member here. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to take control of bathrooms by myself. I'm going to make sure Fallen can't fall all the way back and feel comfortable. And then we're going to execute with you in an awkward position. And it works really well. Now look at the strategy by Luminosity. Try and get aggressive, but this is the default from Na'Vi. They're just going to stay far back, and Seize punishes Gold.
Luminosity will be hoping for something to come through here, but it's not going to be likely. As you said, Na'Vi just keeping them at arm's length, and they're not taking any risks here. Zeus may be looking for a little something, and Fallen does manage to catch out Guardian, but Na'Vi playing this well, playing this smart. You've got the UMP up for play, and actually, that's looking a little worse for wear. Bolts finally gets put down, but that's starting to get a little bit dangerous. Guardian and Zeus both falling to that, but still.
Did Edward keep the UMP into this round instead of picking up that AK-47? So, see what he can do with it. It is going to be a forced buy from Luminosity. Now, I mean, they're forcing 4 to 7. So it's at that point where they just need to start putting more rounds on the board for their CT side Overpass. They're going to be a little bit light on utility, but a good boost. This might be the trick that gets them back into it. Maybe give them an early kill. They've done great in this matchup when they find that early kill. The struggle has been, lately, they haven't found it.
Last couple of rounds, it has certainly been a missing factor, but this time Luminosity trying to play a little closer to those smokes, try and take a little bit of the early fight here, but Na'Vi taking over control and towards B, looking for maybe an option, but Coldzera and Steel not really challenging out too early on. As you said, that double stack coming out, or at least the stack coming out towards A. Basically just waiting patiently. Steel just spraying, completely flash, completely blind. Great work as well from his team, slowing down the 2 players from short as well, but Flamey's going to find Steel. But Coldzera's got to know what's up now. He's got to know how many players are here. Everyone's on the rotate, but it's Guardian to find Fur, and Coldzera's been locked out of this one. The smokes are down. Na'Vi are just pouring in towards the site. The bomb is yet to go down, though, and it still gives Luminosity a chance to fight this one through. Fallen only gets 1, but it's Coldzera doing the Lord's work right now for Luminosity. Massive stuff from him, coming up when it matters, keeping a little bit of hope alive.
That's so well done. Cold staying alive as long as possible, waiting for his teammates to come in. You know, trying as much as he can to work with them, but actually it was really well done from Na'Vi, just finding all these 1-on-1s to enter the bomb site. Just a 1-on-3 victory there for Cold. Beautiful shots, gives him a little bit of life now. Still a shotgun on Fur. The economy is not stabilized. Fallen's got the AWP, and it's going to be Fur getting aggressive down these stairs, and he's not going to find anything close up. And there's a Molotov on a short. So these 2 members are going to be cut off from a retreat just for the time being.
At least Fern knows that they can't be flanked here. He's just going to play close. If he goes down, then suddenly everything kind of unravels. Fallen's in trouble, as could be Bolts. But First somehow makes it away with Guardian Edward not too far off, but does get caught on the cross at least. Yeah,
nice leg from Guardian, so a lot of damage dealt towards Fur. He's got to be close up for that shotgun, so it's not going to be too pleasing. And now, seems like this setup from Na'Vi, they just wait about 30 seconds, like, all right, you guys got aggressive, and now you're going to fall off of it. You're running out of utility, you've got to go away, so now we're going to start making our move. And Bolt's over towards Long. He's got Cold with him, and also Fur in the bathroom, so actually they've got to be careful. Pop Flash comes in, that's beautiful. Free kill for Flamey. Gonna get a second one, that's Guardian. Really well done from Na'Vi, eliminating the stack.
First time Luminosity put that many players towards Long, keeping that pressure applied, but it didn't seem to pay off at all. Now it's down to coldzera again. He's back on it, though. That's 2 already. He wants the third. He gets the tag, but not the frag. And Steel comes in, but Long is in Na'Vi's control. They're looking for more. Fallen being vigilant on the side. He's flashed up, forced to back away, but Steel comes in from the toilets. It's down to just C's in this 1v1 up against Fallen. C's with 18. Fallen sitting pretty.
I think Fallen juked him. Look at C's. He's pretty convinced he's over behind the truck, but Fallen's on the other side. Doesn't even know what hit him. 6-7 now for Luminosity, make a bit of a comeback here.
It's still all up in the air, and considering, you know, it's been coldzera. Let's be real, those last 2 rounds have been insane for him. Zeus got taken down to, what, like 20 HP in that last round? He didn't get the 3K, but he pretty much wrote him out of that round.
Yeah, wins it 1-on-3, and then just holds that A-bomb site like a boss there in a 3-on-5 situation. Gets the 2 kills to equalize, and the damage done as well. So now this forces Na'Vi onto a save for the last round and a half. They upgrade some pistols, and actually, this is a little bit scary. Steel's all alone. Fallen is dropped down, and Cease is still going to go for this battle, but he's the only one there. No one else from Na'Vi is able to follow up and trade that kill out, but down to a 4-on-4.
That got really shaky. If, as you said, if someone else was there with him, they could have pressed the issue so much more and just piled through towards short. But let's remind ourselves, Edward has been able to recover a rifle as well, so he's got a little bit closer maybe, but the flash out comes in, but not everyone was flashed from Na'Vi then. Zeus wasn't completely blind, but Fur will pick it up with the MP7.
Such a smart play from Fur, because it looked like Zeus and Edward wanted to go for a boost so he could peer over the wall with that rifle, and actually Guardian Bolts beats the plume of the smoke and is able to deal a lot of damage down to Guardian, so looks like Luminosity is going to get out of this one without taking too much damage. Bolt's just waiting for Guardian to appear inside the smoke. The bomb's also making its way there, and he does find him right at the end. There it is in Flamey in bathrooms. Last one standing. He falls to Bolt. 7-7 now. Luminosity's tied things up. They're going to try and take the advantage into the next half.
3 rounds in a row now for Luminosity, starting to find maybe their form here. It seems to go in waves, doesn't it, these two teams? They go on these runs, the economies get broken down and taken to pieces, and then the other team pulls it back. It's been a true display of what can be absolutely outstanding about Counter-Strike, and we're certainly going to be having a great display once again. Fallen going to be going for the aggressive shot here, willing to go for it. He does catch a glimpse of the legs and still sticks this out. Great follow-up. Edward goes down. Is anyone else from Na'Vi going to be giving into this? Guardian doesn't have an AWP to challenge here either.
This play from Fallen is so aggressive. He's committed to this. He's going to get a second one. Nicely done from him. Na'Vi still can't flush him out of the position. And look at what this has caused on the other side of the map. If even Fur's finding a kill, so Fallen, he gets that initial kill, and it just destroys any plan that Na'Vi has, and his teammates just kind of mop up some pieces on the other side. So C's is the last one left. He's still waiting for a push to come his way, but the aggression was elsewhere. And so swiftly, it's down to a 5-on-2.
Sees to Flamey, you blink and you miss it. Na'Vi just got shredded as soon as they walked out, pretty much thanks to Fallen, just the aggression, the confidence to stay out. Now Bolt's going to have his chance at it, going to catch out C's, trying to push up. Now it does just leave Flamey alive, and sadly for him, Luminosity are closing in step by step, and who other to close it down? Fallen here to give Luminosity the advantage going into the second half, any second after the break. But still, this has been closer than I expected, but then again, you know, this T side is pretty darn good from Na'Vi. Let's remind ourselves, it's 7 rounds on the T side here. Yeah, and it's also, I mean, this is the heavily sieged side of map, so Na'Vi's going to be very, very happy with it. They're able to switch sides and get right into the second half, where Na'Vi is now on the defense. And this is going to be the tough one for Luminosity. They can't afford to go back and forth. They have to get out to some kind of early lead. That's exactly what Na'Vi did. They went up 4 or 5-1. Luminosity's got to match that. All right, so we've got the molly coming out onto Fallen. We've got the smokes on towards Steel. So I want to see if they're going for a set piece, maybe towards B. There's a good couple of positions, of course, you can put those mollies down from, but it's Guardian going to be meeting them right at the door. He's got backup in the form of Flamey, but Seized and Zeus also not far behind. Luminosity only get the fight straight away. Zeus with this 5-7, that's a deadly spot for it to be in, and they're going to push right down, get aggressive. They're going to go for the fights. Seized wins that one. Fur falls. And now look,
Cole, he's very low. He can't be the one to be aggressive because he's so incredibly low, so he spots it. They've just got to fall away. And Na'Vi, they find that kill, and now they're able to basically stabilize, except there's aggression towards long. That could catch some people off guard.
Luminosity in a real tricky spot now. Zeus is going to be pressured, but as you said, that 5-7 is so deadly in these sort of ranges. Look at the damage he's done. He's gone down, but still, he's tagged up so many players. Fallen and Coldzera, of course, both super low now, and Guardian's still in the best position possible, just waiting for that cross to come in.
Yeah, Zeus has all the intel. Even if he doesn't get a kill there, he sees at least 3. So he's like, all right, everyone from Na'Vi knows exactly where they're at. And Guardian's in a perfect position in these bathrooms, so hard to clear out, and he's going to have a flank if they dedicate themselves to this A hit.
Oh God, Zera, you better be on point here. There's nothing you can do. So low in that situation. Guardian's going to make the most of that. And you can see the close down coming out from Flamey and Edward from playing on the side itself, just dealing with the split that Luminosity were trying to build up here. And round the back, Bolts will at least stop Guardian from making the most of it. But will he expect C's to be doing the same thing? No, is the question. And it will be an execute towards the likes of Luminosity, just putting them down in their place. And right now we're back to 8-8, and Luminosity then just being surrounded, and it looked like Na'Vi just had enough.
A lot of the talk from Maniac on the analyst desk has always been, you know, these information plays and how do you position yourself once you have that information, and that was so perfectly done from Na'Vi. You know, even with no kills, he calls out to his team's Guardian, doesn't get too aggressive. He just puts himself in position to pounce if things come his way, and he finds it perfectly. That attack is just decimated. It really has no chance because they're taking these battles deep into the bathroom so far towards the terrorist side that, you know, they have all the intel, so rotations can come in time. They can get their back up perfectly, and Luminosity just gets whittled down as they try and attempt to get close to the plant.
Certainly plenty now. They've gone for the buy-up with those Tech 9s. They've got the armor there. A little bit of smoke on towards Bolts and Fallen, but Na'Vi just playing from the sights. You know, they've gone for the rifles. They do have the UMP there in the P90, but the UMP can just operate so well in these instances still. It's not exactly like it acts like an SMG half the time, but still. Let's see what this goes down to. The clock is being run down, but Na'Vi not really seeming too fussed by this.
Yeah, why would they be? They have some nades. They have a Molotov that's on seized, and he's over at this A bomb site. Now they have 4 people here, so this execute. There's a lot of people, a lot of Na'Vi players here to stop this.
The smoke's going to cut the site in half almost and try and bring it a little closer. And actually, look at this. Bolt's just bolted through the smoke, should I say, but Guardian just turned around, took him down. The bomb is planted, and Fur is somehow alive. I do not know how the hell he's done that, but now from the back lines, Edward's en route, and Na'Vi just being held back by the smoke. Once that dissipates, there's a lot of trouble coming their way, but Fur and Coldzera looking down! How the hell have they done this? Once again, these set plays from Luminosity, pushing Na'Vi to their limits, and Edward is being pressured left, right, and center, and it looks like round the backside, it's fallen to side them down, and a big round from Fur again. But look at that play from Na'Vi. The smokes were brilliant, the play was perfect, and they just played it to a T.
That cannot happen for Na'Vi. You get the first 2 kills, you're in a 5-on-3, and it seemed like they were just so anxious to get that retake on to just close the round up. They don't clear a corner. That crossfire works absolutely perfectly. Maybe they thought that they had spammed that well enough to eliminate that position, but he doesn't die. He just cleans house. He causes enough of a distraction for even his teammate to get involved. So what a hold from Luminosity on the second round. Now Guardian, this Deagle is a huge factor on Mirage, but it can't do anything here. But still, more pushes out towards long. That's Flamey. He finds one onto Bolt, so equalized up at 4-4.
Yeah, this is going to get dangerous. Let's look at this. Fallen's got the bomb as well. If they spot this out, they can create something from this one. Edward's just kind of sitting back. He's not really in this. He's just holding the site, making sure they're not pushing over towards B, but so Na'Vi going to pull themselves back a little bit here. A little bit of aggression, buy some time, get some information. Obviously get the trade out as well. And now, going to leave Luminosity to have to build themselves back into this round. They do recover the rifle and put that back on towards first.
Right, but Na'Vi getting aggressive in bathrooms delayed, much like Luminosity did. Zeus and C setting up a small stack. Flamey has rotated over towards this, towards the B bomb site as well. So he's grouped up here. The defense is split 2-2. It's all going to depend on, can Caesar Zeus hear anything at long A? Are they going to have any kind of intel? Is a footstep going to be made by Luminosity? And it doesn't seem like it's going to come in time, but Caesar and Zeus have that option to wrap behind him, although Steel's watching the flank. Zeus might be able to get caught out. Steel does. He at least spots one, so he does the damage. Now they know a flank is entirely possible.
Flamey's the only one close by to even do damage towards the side itself. Now, I don't know if Luminosity are even going to predict this one. Well, of course they are. First, they're just going to check that straight away, but Zeus at least did catch out Steel. And they do have the SMG to hand. Here we go. Steve's going to try and stop the plant, but the bomb is down, and Fur puts his foot down and has enough of this. But it is a 2v2. They've got a smoke. They've got a little bit to work with. But Fur just says no, but it's down to the 1v1 now. Coldzera, what? He gets picked up by Edward, and there's time for a defuse. How the hell did Luminosity not hold that crossfire then?
Edward just crushed him. That's just the thing. That pistol work from him is beautiful. He's been a fantastic pistol player all through his career, and nothing better than that to showcase it. So really well done. Luminosity just can't get a good read on where they are. Maybe they think Zeus is the only one here. And look, I mean, Fur just
They're both
away.
looking the wrong way.
And they're both looking for CT spawn, but instead the flank comes in from that B bomb site. Instead of rotating through CT spawn, comes in the flank and surprises them. But neither team willing to relinquish anything. It's going to be a buy from both teams with that plant. Luminosity's got the money to put something pretty strong together.
Busting heads here on this one, just going straight back into it, back to the fire. But Luminosity being a little cautious now. That little bit of aggression's made they have to invest a little bit more just to get this early bit of control building towards A. You've got the, the flashes coming out first, having to be a little bit more careful here. I think he might have heard Zeus by this point, but Zeus is just buying time, keeping Steel away and just keeping half this map in Na'Vi's hands. But Luminosity are slowly building themselves up, and I'm curious to see if Flamey sees and Guardian fancy a little bit of that mid-round aggression coming out, maybe take some of those fights.
Crucially, with this kind of an economic battle going on, just back and forth, Guardian hasn't been able to get the op out quite yet on the CT side. 3 members in the A bomb site for Na'Vi, 2 over towards B. This is going to be a boost up just for any kind of intel. They see nothing, maybe trying to catch someone off guard, but still Luminosity playing a little bit farther back. This is going to be an execute. They got 4 Molotovs, they got 5 smokes still left in their kit. I mean, they can do any kind of execute they choose to on this bomb site.
Let's remember that line of smoke that basically came up before that did catch Na'Vi off guard. If that comes out again, if Na'Vi fall for it, I don't know what to say, but we're going to see if this is going to be a factor now. The smoke is down, the line is there. It cuts them off, but they're playing quite slow here. They're not going to be pushing themselves straight into the side. They want to see if anyone's going to peer out of it, try and make the play. Fallen's going for the same plant. Let's remember before, though, Fur got into a great little spot. He was just tucked down by the truck. This time not going to have the same impact, but coldzera still's going to find Seeds. Fallen takes the fight, takes down Flamey, goes for a follow-up, doesn't get it, but coldzera will. Now it's a 2v2.
And Zeus is on the flank right now, and you can see he's in a battle. They know exactly where Cold is. Cold swings out down to a one-on-one. Bolts takes out his teammate. There's no kit whatsoever. He's got to find this fight quick, and he finds it, but Bolts wins it out in the end. Picks up the M4 as well, so 10-9. These rounds so far being traded back and forth.
I don't know what it is with Na'Vi, but they just don't seem to be able to deal with that play that Luminosity bring out. They did it before with, I think it was just Tech 9s almost. It was a lighter purchase then with the smokes, but it works again.
Well, they get advantage when the execute comes in, but unfortunately they have no utility for the retake. They don't have any flashbangs or nades or smokes to work with to kind of help them out. So Luminosity is just outlasting them in these early rounds. But still an investment here, and Guardian opens things up on the Fur. Drops him with a 1 dig.
Just scalping Fur. He's so tempted to go for that rifle as well. He's just looking at like, can I get down it? No. No, coldzera is just holding that so close to hand, just keeping tabs on if Guardian fancied. Nice little angle as well. We'll be able to see him crossing as well.
C's just spotted some players out towards long, so see what the reaction is. Cold, he does find Flamey. Guardian's still there, going at that battle, but the A-take is on. C's can't find anything. Bolts takes him out, so that A-bomb site's open. They don't commit to it quite yet, though. They know it's possible to get flanked from behind because Cold has spotted a couple.
Yeah, and look at this. They're falling back. They're retracting away from it. They're being so cautious about this, but Zeus is kind of in the middle. He's right behind them, and it's a little bit of a predicament he's in. But if he catched out, if he called out Fallen on his own, if he catched out coldzera, he can get a good gun out of this, and he's going to have the shot at it. There we go. That is coldzera down. Zeus is back in the battle here. Now Edward and Guardian are just surrounded. The big thing here is Steel got around the back as well. Steel's going to take his time, take down Edward, punish him piece by piece, and just going to be Guardian on the cross. Stunning shot towards Fallen. Bomb's loose. And look how low Bolts is. It's a 2v2. Make it a 2v1, still bringing it back to touch, but a safer plant coming in, planting it in for bank. But Zeus still building up here. He's still got a smoke. He can do something with this. Bolt's playing it on the side well. Steel buying time, and Bolt swings out, takes the fight. And Luminosity starting to take a bit of a bigger lead now.
Yeah, finally, the pressure is going to abate just a little bit. Na'Vi in this round. Guardian, these shots with the Deagle, you just think this next shot coming in is going to pull him right back into it. But this time, Guardian, he goes back to it, of course, because why not? Let's just deal more damage. But they can't invest in anything, so there's no armor. So Luminosity's got a little bit of a chance. You can see Cold switched over towards the MAC-10, try and build up a bank with all that bonus money. Not going to be going up against any rifles for really the first time since Pistol Round.
Yeah. Na'Vi going to go for the stack out towards B with 4 players around here. Zeus is also kind of by proxy playing B, I guess. So Luminosity taking the time, and Fallen going to pick up the first, just peering down towards that B side, seeing if anyone's willing to challenge from the tunnels. As Zeus is going to take a little bit of a run at the gauntlet as well. Going to be sent back packing in this one. And it's Na'Vi just taking the time, trying to find any opportunity. But Luminosity have been so careful with this as well, as of Na'Vi when it's been their turn in this sort of round.
Yeah, and Luminosity is taking this so slow. Na'Vi rotates over to stack the B bomb site, but no one from Luminosity has even moved forward. So a second kill comes out. Now they're spread even more thin. Cold with the MAC-10. takes a little too much damage. He's got to play more passive, so fortunately steals there to come out monster, and there you go with that Mac 10. Doesn't even have to stop moving. So all down to just one player. Flamey's the last one left. No one from Luminosity falling, which is great. So finally they can start building up this economy, stabilizing their money situation, and just to top it off, Cold gets a little bit of extra cash on top.
Yeah, good little round for Cold, considering how low he went early on with that Mac 10, still making the most of it. So 12-9 now. When do I start believing, Moses, that this might go 3 maps? When does the belief kick in?
When they get to 16.
Wow, jaded. Look at this guy. At the start of the day, it was American flags, eagles everywhere. Now it's just like, we'll see. All right, at least this is another round on the board, though. This could be a big one. Bearing in mind, this is the rifles going back out for Na'Vi. This is their chance to really stop the rot. Luminosity, they're on a bit of a tear at the moment. 3 rounds back-to-back. And the slow approach for them.
This is perfect for Luminosity. This half has gone, I mean, despite all the back and forth early on.
From Fallen as well.
Yeah, this is great for them because Guardian has no money for an AWP. He's stuck on a Colt or an M4, and they have no utility behind this. They've got 1 flashbang and a nade left. No kits on the Na'Vi side, so Luminosity, they have so many options. Look at everything they have to work with. They can bully Na'Vi around this map.
And I love the way they didn't rush it either. They've been taking the time, they're using the mollies, the nades to clear these corners and just kind of peeking perfectly off the back of it. Flamey's going to be forced to pull back, and it's going to be Na'Vi having to pretty much play this just instant contact game of we better land these shots, otherwise we're kind of done for. But Flamey's at least done it. There's coldzera down. 5v4 though, he's going to have to keep coming up with shots like that. And Guardian's actually going on the rotate. He's going around the back on long. Steel's going to be the one to possibly stop him down the line, but coming back to what's going on here, first going to pick up Seized. He had the first shot on that. There we go, Bolts has found Flamey, and that's A completely open. The only little bit of silver lining was the fact that Guardian may have done something, but no, it's down to Edward and Zeus. They're nowhere to be found. That's the bomb, though. Can Edward find any more? He's got 2 players coming in. He doesn't get the follow towards Bolts. He keeps that one in check. It's a 3v1, and Zeus is betting his money on A, but I think he knows better, but the clock is running low.
Yeah, and he has found himself over towards the B bomb site. This is exactly what they need. But he's got 3 kills to find, not a lot of health to do it in, and the bomb's gonna go down. He's gonna get that kill, but Steel's there for the cover. Really nicely done. Zeus tries to make something happen, but now 13-9, Luminosity's grabbed hold.
You almost sound like you believe in Moses. Almost. There's like a little bit of hope. It's starting to come back. I won't say a thing actually now because it's going to go terrible.
What have you done?
Guardian's going to get the ace with the deagle and it's
done?
all over. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is the scary part because this is exactly how Na'Vi won Mirage. It was a miraculous eco victory with some beautiful shots from Guardian with that deagle. So still, Luminosity, they have a great lead. Can't let it slip again. And taking things very, very slow.
And I like this, again, not letting it get to them, not letting it, getting too fired up just yet, just round by round, corner by corner, checking it well, being cautious, being careful. Now, Flamey has a nade, Zeus has a little bit of armor, but it's so few and far between here. They've got a little bit of map control. Nade comes through, coldzera, cautiously peeking in. Great work from him to find Flamey. And it's just clinical stuff from Luminosity, and that's exactly what they need.
That nade might have actually given away Flamey's position.
Yeah.
So Cold reacts nicely, snaps off a good headshot. 2 players out towards long. Guardian not finding any love with that deagle, but he may get a chance. Bolt's working his way up, might be able to split this, but Seas is the one who's going to get aggressive. He sees the gun barrel, nice shot. Cleans him out, but still a long way to go. 3-on-4 for Na'Vi. Seas is going to fall back with that AK, and look at Edward. He's taking such liberties. They've been giving him a lot of space to work with, and Fur trying to cut off this rotation, not going to be able to hit the shots. And there's Edward coming from behind, finds one again. These eco rounds for Na'Vi, they're finding Luminosity wide open in the map, very exposed, but fortunately, no one for LG is over at this B-bomb site, or no one for Na'Vi's at the B-bomb site.
Yeah, still got there so early on. He's actually holding the perfect angle towards these guys rotating through, and there we go. Making the most of that really quickly. Edward might fall to the same fate, but no. Puts himself to a little bit of work there. Now down to a 2v2 just outside of that molly. The molly's going to come down. It's going to start getting real hot in here, but not going to find it. And now, what is Edward going to do with this one? Got Fallen on the site. He's holding that close angle. He's got coldzera behind him. And Na'Vi are going for this Guardian's close by. He's still got that deagle. He can still do work. Great work from Fallen. Round the board! He misses the shot, but coldzera picks up where it was needed. And Luminosity, I hate to say it, I hate to jinx it, but they're getting close, Moses.
Well, Fallen was a ninja that round.
How did no one notice that?
He misses that shot, and it's just, oh, that was almost heartbreaking. But Cold's there for the bailout. You're right, now it is looking a little bit better for Luminosity. Finally, first round of this half, we've seen Guardian with the AWP. So now this is the one thing that can really turn the tide. This is the last chance for Na'Vi, and they have the exact weapon in their star player's hands, and he's going to take the shot out of Fallen. Tricky peek, Fallen's not prepared for it. Guardian already having an impact.
Last chance saloon here for Na'Vi to close this one in 2, and Guardian's already made it 2 for himself. He could get a third, but Flamey picks it up for him. And Luminosity being reminded that Na'Vi do have teeth. They're not just a bit of bark at the moment. As Fer and Steel, the last two standing, and they're so far apart. Steel's been doing this work towards B every single round, slowly but surely getting himself in here, getting the control. But Edward knows what's up. He goes down. It's just Fer standing now. And you said there could be one thing to stop the beautiful comeback. And it's not gone too badly this round for Guardian.
It started out really, really well with those opening 2 kills, and it makes you think, Na'Vi just, save a little bit early on. You get that gun in his hands. Why are you keeping it away from him? Just give it to the master. So he starts things out well. Fer's in a 1-on-5. He does have the bomb, but what are you going to do here? And then this is the thing. There's really no chance of him winning this round, but doing damage. Finding a couple kills. The economy for Na'Vi isn't very strong. If he can find 2 or 3 kills, force some rebuys, they can grind this match out in these last, 6 rounds to work with.
Oh, almost had Flamey on the turn then. But does get picked up, and Na'Vi live to fight another day, but it is by a very slim margin. Let's remind ourselves, 14-10. Luminosity still needs so much more.
They do, and Na'Vi has gotten it to the point now where, 2 members of Luminosity are at $0. You see Steel at 50. The money's gone for Luminosity. So losing this round, Na'Vi actually closes this gap, and all of a sudden, they're right back into it. Very, very quickly can this turn around. So Luminosity, they can't mess around here. Once again, coming out with their very slow, patient, methodical default strategy.
Getting flashbacks to watching Cloud9's game when they were so close to some of those closeout rounds. Just seeing it all fall apart, but Luminosity still, it's 1 round for now. It may just be 2 very soon as Flamey and Edward just knock things down a little here, and Luminosity's slow but, cautious way of playing might just be being exploited. Caesar's going to turn from that smoke, but no one's going to oblige as they slowly do look towards going towards A. Guardian, Zeus, Edward, not quite close. It's going to be Flamey being the point man there. Does get the kill up on towards Cold Zero, but C still not too far back either. This is still a tricky round. They're going for it. Steel's done great work there, but 50 seconds left. They're going to have to go in the last couple of seconds. Edward's already heading over towards A. Steel's taking the long route as well. Edward, I don't know if he knows how pivotal he is. Great little spin. Takes down Fallen, and it's all on Steel.
Very, very critical kill for Edward to get. If he falls there, that A bomb site's open. It turns into a 2-on-2 with the bomb planted. But now 30 seconds left. Steel, he's got to find someone. He does have some nades to work with. He's got a smoke, and he actually could have landed that shot. It would have been nice, but Guardian just a little bit of a peekapoo and shoots right through the wall. I like this timeout from Luminosity. They're saying, all right, this could start getting scary very, very quickly if we don't jump on top of it early.
And you don't want to let, Na'Vi start building back confidence. You don't want to start them feeling good. Already, I can imagine Guardians thinking, well, finally, I've got that AWP in my hand. Finally, I can start doing what I want to here. And Na'Vi, I can imagine, have a lot of tricks up their sleeves that they can pull out once he gets that. He's had a middle-of-the-table game. He's still sitting fairly high, but he's, it's not the Guardian presence that we're known to seeing. So into this one, Luminosity maybe just wanted to stop a little bit of that pace coming out from Na'Vi now on the comeback in this, and they need to discuss what they're going to be coming up against it.
Yeah, and this is the thing, what are they going to, is Na'Vi going to switch anything up in this time? Are they going to say, all right, Luminosity's talking about, our stuff, so the mind games are going to start coming out, but actually it's insane, because they don't really have to switch much up. They just have to be like, Guardian, what do you want to do? Because that round he takes the AWP and he gets very aggressive towards the short sewers over towards the B bomb site, which is an angle you don't often see oppers just run towards immediately. Grabs the angle, and he's there basically the whole round, just pivoting between those sewers and between the door.
And this is what I was saying in the first map, Mirage. It's terrifying seeing the versatility that man has. He switched it up 1 round to go to short because, it wasn't really working from window. He didn't get much luck from connector. And then he gets 3 kills, changes the round, and brings it back to him. He's that sort of impact player that can be so dangerous when he's not just limited to one style of play, not just one sort of position. He's got such a deep bag of tricks there. But Luminosity, if you're in their shoes, what can you change here? What can you bring up? Or is it more just trying to work out what Na'Vi were doing and how to counter that as it is?
If I'm Luminosity, I say I've been running this slow, methodical default basically this whole half. It's worked great, got us this huge lead. Now Na'Vi, once they have the AWP, that's something that can be punished because Guardian can just be holding an angle and we don't know which one it's going to be and we may walk into it. We may not have the right smoke or flashbang. Let's speed things up a bit. They may not do it this round because they're going to be on, they might buy up some armor and smoke-rated pistols, maybe mostly of an eco. Actually, it's just a Tech 9 smoke-rated pistols across the board. But, I mean, maybe going into that next gun round, they just switch up the pace.
This is very familiar as well to that first map. These times out, going into an eco of some variety. A little bit with the Tech 9, of course, but this is what we saw on the first map. Didn't go so well for Luminosity. This time they do have the advantage, though, a bigger advantage, a little more buffer. Not much.
And Na'Vi knows this is a save round, or a very light buy, so you can see how quickly they fell away from any aggression. Guardian's going to spot one at range, but he's got to be careful. He's dinked. He's got to fall away. There's C's to save the day, but Guardian so low, playing aggressive towards bathroom initially, but he switches the aggression with the M4s. That allows him to spray a couple down. And here's Flamey pushing up behind the smoke, gonna find a nice clothesline onto Fur. Quickly just down to 2 members who are getting cleaned out. And Steel, he's been doing this flank pretty frequently, and this time it doesn't find anything. None of his teammates have success. So nice stabilization from Na'Vi. They don't lose anyone in the anti-eco. They can move forward with plenty of money built up. But now comes the round that Luminosity paused for.
What have you got in store, Luminosity? What have you got? Bolts with the Galil, but a hell of a lot of utility. And Guardian and Flamey are going aggressive. Last time, this trashed Luminosity. And he's going down. He's looking for this pickup here in this connector, and he's gonna find it. Fur falls, and that is a disaster if you're a Luminosity fan. Already the stack does come out, the boost to peer down, and all information gathered. Guardian is laying waste to Luminosity, and this is devastating to any fan out there. He finally gets put down, but at this point, there's one man standing. It's Fallen, and you've got to be gutted.
Yeah, he does the damage, and that's what's a little bit of a bummer. Luminosity, like we had this whole tactic planned out. Now Guardian goes to a spot we hadn't seen him yet, gets 2 kills, incredibly. Like, he gets 1 and just keeps pushing forward. That's nice by Fallen, finds a kill, hasn't picked up the bomb. He's down to 10 HP. Molotov is gonna force him forward. What a shot onto C's, all of a sudden turns this into a doable 1-on-2. And Navi's gotta be careful that he doesn't just pull out a miracle. All right, so Flamey brings us back to reality a little bit. Fallen got us all excited there for a second.
This game could be a little bit heartbreaking, if I'm honest. But these rounds the Luminosity do have given them some victories if they're going to go for that A play, which they've done before, where the smoke wall comes out and it actually does work off the back, but they've never tried it against Guardian really with the Naught. So this is the difference. Is there early aggression? Yes, and it's different. Guardian's heading down long. First trying to just jump the shot in case, you know, ideally at best he gets legged out of that, but no one there to challenge. Luminosity slowing things down here. They're so cautious of what Guardian's bringing.
Yeah, they have a decent investment into this to maybe try and pull off some kind of miracle. At least get into the bomb site, get the bomb planted, see what comes from that. Tech 9 and armor, full losing bonus, so no matter what happens in this round, they have enough money to buy whatever they need into the next one, especially with the plant. And look at how, this is the thing, Guardian's just been dominant. Look at how cautiously they're taking all of this map control. They're just like, I'm so scared to peek this angle. Bolts gets a pop flash, now they're gonna push in towards bathroom, so they have that. But 3 members for Na'Vi over at this A site. The defense looks strong.
And this time Na'Vi are actively holding these angles. They're actively taking the fights rather than sitting a little more passively. So Luminosity aren't even in the position to put down the smoke, so they're paying dividend towards that A play when they've been on these Tech 9s. Guardian looking for long, going to cut off one arm of this play. And we're down to 40 seconds here. They've only got, what, 3 smokes and 2 flashes now.
Yeah, and there's got a lot of M4s close up. That's a nice trade from Cold, though. Zeus, he's come to bail out his mate, who's taken heavy damage. That's Flamey. He can't land the kills. He's going to fall. Now it's all on Zeus, but he falls to Cold as well. Guardian, what can you do? You've got to come up huge. It is a 2-on-2. And actually, Luminosity falls away from this hit. The bomb's going to circle back towards the B bomb site. There's nobody here. No one from Na'Vi even knows this is coming.
Great stuff from Fallen. It's been Steel normally doing this sort of play, but here we go. Steel's been keeping him busy, and he may fall here. He does have the rifle, but the bomb is nowhere to be found, and here we go. It's all on Fallen.
Oh, he's getting aggressive, too. He's going to try and cut him off with the rotate. They still think it's A, though. They're still trying to clear things out. They don't realize the bomb's not here. They're completely juked. Now they've got to hustle. But Fallen, like we said, has that advanced position. Are they prepared for this? He's going to be close up. They are going to clear it out. Na'Vi riding a fine line there, but they're going to get this diffuse. Nicely done from Luminosity.
These rounds are so close. Guardian again with the 3K. I'd love someone to sit out there and work out how many kills he's gotten since he's gotten that AWP in hand and how many rounds have come off the back of that, because he was on, we were discussing this, I said around 18 kills. He was sitting around that marker. He has shot up that scoreboard. He's pretty much at the top now with Edward. He's on 23 already, so.
The only statistic that really matters about it, ever since he got that off, they've won 5 in a row. They haven't lost one, so this is, I mean, he's being the linchpin of this defense, and now Luminosity, they're just like,
they don't want it.
We have nothing in our playbook. Rush B, boys.
They just don't want to go near Guardian. I can't blame them for 1 second. They're going to make a quick play out of this. Zeus is going to have the time of his life, but no, Fur turns it. Now Edward did fall back early on. He gets a double. Bolt does go down, as does Fur. It's down to 3v3. Steel is still in this one. Edward has retracted back. He's playing outside the smoke, seized, waits patient, but Guardian spots the bomb, and that could change everything. Fallen's not letting it slip just yet. He's still fighting this one out. It's a 1v1. 1 minute left. Fallen has to come up with the shot. He does it. Luminosity make it to 15.
Incredible. Incredible from Luminosity to hold on. They just get whittled down entering this bomb site. Edward gets 2, plays this so well, staying alive as long as possible. But Fallen in the end, he's going to come up huge with the AWP of his own. 15-14 and Na'Vi. Now they're the ones who are just like, uh-oh. Op still in Guardian's hands, though. Flamey's going to get aggressive downstairs. Some pop flashes. That's going to slow things down. So Na'Vi is just going to be able to get away from their early aggression. They haven't taken no damage, but they use a lot of utility. They use a lot of nades through this.
So this could switch things up. Normally Luminosity have been operating at the fact that Na'Vi have had a great deal to work with even into those later parts of the round. Now, a little bit of a turnaround. But Zeus is going to be met by a lot of pressure soon. Great flash comes out. It allows Zeus the time to pounce. He gets down one, Edward follows up. This is a lockdown from Na'Vi. Luminosity down to 2. Fallen and Bolts. The weight of their team on their shoulders. Can they close it down now? Take it to that third map, or are we going overtime?
Bolts, he's going to want to come through Monster, but he's going to get smoked off. There's still time to wait this one out, but really, it's got to be Fallen to try and... He's got to find a kill. He's got to get this down to 3 members. Manageable. The defense is split 2 and 2. A great aggressive play early, and he jumps up, but he hasn't spotted anyone. So actually, Fallen, this is a pretty nice situation he's got himself in. Zeus, though, is the X factor. He's far towards the right. He's kind of the insurance policy on this beat bomb site, something they might not clear out. Flash is going to go that direction. Fallen, is he able to do it? He is! Jumping out! What a shot from Fallen. He opens up the site just a little bit. Still one more to deal with. Bolts is going to try and plant inside the smoke, but he fakes it. He taps it, and now he's got to get it down.
Seized is so close by, lurking in that smoke, and he's going to pounce. He gets down Fallen. Seized takes down Bolts, and we are going to overtime. This game is too good to be having closing out in regular. This is outstanding.
That shot from Fallen.
What was that?
Just coming in huge. He's back to that ninja. But here's the thing, now we go into overtime, plenty of money now for Guardian to have that AWP right off the bat. And you gotta wonder if they were able to get that earlier on, if they're able to stabilize that economy. He was masterful, and still, Luminosity, they don't seem to really have a response to that. Because you can see now that they have the fear of that AWP in their minds, the aggressive plays from the Colts come out, and the M4s come out, and they take over towards sandbags, towards short, and they just get highly aggressive.
You can look at the peak from around round 11 for Guardian. It's unbelievable how much he steps up with that ult. But still, let's see what he can bring now. We are into overtime of map 2 here at IEM San Jose between Luminosity and Na'Vi. And it is going to be first to 4, basically, if you're not familiar with it. 3 rounds on both sides, 10K starting money. It does allow plenty of room for Guardian to pick up that AWP.
He's got to be careful. He's already getting circled upon, but of course, he's got the timing, and now he's going to get a second one on the Fallen. Guardian open things up, almost a third as well. He's going to be able to fall away safely. That smoke comes out. Actually, he's still getting circled from long, but he has another avenue to escape with. He just gives his team a 2-man advantage, and yeah, falls away. Sees, jumps up, spots 1, but he can't win that battle. So for a little bit of life now in Luminosity into this round.
This man has so much prowess with this weapon. It's been a masterclass thus far by him. Once he's got it to hand. 50 seconds left though, and he's still looking for these shots. He's still looking to challenge Luminosity. And he might just get a little bit of that nice little work then between the two Cold, Zera and Fur, just baiting out the peak and making the most of it.
Yeah, but between him and C's, those plays, they've given the advantage right back. A little bit too aggressive. So now it's a 3-on-3, and now all of a sudden Navi's got to be the one to figure things out. They have one player pushed up in bathrooms, one player rotating back towards A because they don't have any intel. Meanwhile, Luminosity, they're just going to circle all the way through T-spawn to hit this B bomb site. Zeus,
he's going to at least spot it.
Yeah, you're gonna have a job to do here, my friend.
Let's see what he does, because he's going to... Oh, they did. Oh my God, Zera slaps him back. Okay, we're in a 3v2 now. Bomb is going to go down. I doubt anyone can stop that from happening, but Edward flashed up on the push through mid. It's going to be still catching up Flamey. This looks like somehow Luminosity clawed this round back, and see Edward giving it a crack, but first there's no. Great work from Fur and Cold Zera in that round, 2 each, bringing Luminosity the first round here. And even though Guardian did so much damage initially, piece by piece, you know, literally like round by round, and every single inch they took in that, they finally worked it back. That was perfect stuff from Luminosity.
Oh, I mean, it's Na'Vi really just throwing away a massive advantage. There's no reason to go for those kills when you have a 5-on-3. Turtle up into the bomb site. You can afford to lose. You can afford to make trades as they enter in. So, I mean, they give it right back. Guardian's back on the opto, and oh, Fur, what a shot. Punishes the, and a second one. Everyone from Luminosity stepping up here in overtime.
And the pressure comes up. These boys are starting to deliver. Guardian had his moment of glory, but it seems Luminosity have had enough of this. They've maybe finally worked out a way to negate him to some degree, but still, Na'Vi are searching. They're looking, they're hunting for a chance back into the Seized. Has taken a step in the right direction, but that's bolts down, but the bomb's still in coldzera's hands. Not moving a muscle just yet. Seized is going to swing back, get some presence towards the side. Here we go. Zeus has found Fur. Fallen just says no, and the AWPing prowess coming out from these two teams has been outstanding, but Edward and Zeus are still in this one. It's down to Fallen. Just caught a glimpse of Edward backing away. Look at the HP here. Zeus low, Edward low. They've got utility, they've got smokes, they've got flashes. That nade could have hurt a hell of a lot more, and now Fallen is going to have to go wild here. Zeus from long, Edward's the one to close it, and Na'Vi are not going down without a fight.
Crucially as well, they're going to be able to salvage an AWP in the next round because Na'Vi is out of money. I mean, this win is going to allow them to buy up, but if they had to go into the next round after a loss, there would have been no op and then anyone on Na'Vi's hands, and we saw how important that is. So they passed that over to Edward, or Guardian, excuse me. 16-16 now. And this is tough stuff now for Na'Vi. I mean, they have this buy, they have this one round, but they've got to get the second one. Their T side, you know, they got that 7 rounds, but it's gonna be that was the half that Guardian really struggled in. Now that on the CT side with this op, he was brilliant, but on the T side, kind of had a tough time.
Can't agree more. You're absolutely spot on with that. And looking at this,
oh, that's a nice shot.
Yeah, nicely done, Guardian. Wrong target, but good shot nevertheless. Now Fallen's going to add insult to injury, takes him down, just rubbing his face in it. And that must be devastating for a man who's worked so hard to pull his team to this point. Zeus is going to try and pick up the pieces by Fallen. Going to back away a little now. This is not a free round. Let's remember, you still got Zeus here, Edward, Seized. They can still do damage, and Zeus not going to quite have that Guardian presence, but at least gets the information. You're
starting to see the cracks, the pressure in this overtime. Guardian, that's not the right time for that. So down to a 4-on-3, Na'Vi, they've got to get this one. And Edward's going to be the one who's going for some kind of information play. He's getting aggressive. Here's some jumping around, and he's going to peek over towards this side, and he's got himself in a nice spot. I don't think Steel spotted this. I don't think Steel had the angle to see it.
I'm not sure. He's certainly going to know now. And great little bit of spray down from Edward. 1-for-1 trade out. They're going to know at least one more player, maybe two, where there's Zeus and Seized are en route. We've got 28 seconds. They're going to have to commit pretty darn soon. They ain't going B.
Yeah, this is a fake. This is beautifully done as well. Na'Vi's committed to this bomb site. Luminosity is going to have a free take into the A site. 15 seconds, though. They've got to speed it up just a little bit. You can see Zeus on the rotation back. He's not going to get there in time to slow things down. He's even going to be smoked off, so no real danger of running the clock too low.
And they've still got the molly on Fur. If Seized doesn't pick him up, that's going to be a threat down the line. But Seized will at least remove him from the battle, leaving Zeus to come back in. It's down to coldzera. 1v2. Seized knows what's up here. Cold's going to try and take the fight here towards Zeus. He's going to get the first. He's on 8 HP, though. 1v1. Zeus looking for this fight. He's still got a nade to hand. This could hurt a hell of a lot on Cold. He's going to be taken down. And it's Zeus to pick up the round and keep Na'Vi in the lead.
Even gets the angle to ensure it falls in that little doorway. That's nicely done. So comes out with the win. Na'Vi, that retake, spectacular. So despite the TK from Guardian, Zeus picks up the slack. Says, I've got it, don't worry. You got us to overtime. I'm going to help us out with the round here. Yeah, that's just, I mean, that had to have been some kind of miscommunication, not realizing Flamey was going to make that kind of a play.
Oh, man, that has got to be cutting. But, you know, silver lining is they did win the round in the end. So we are going to be going into the next half now. Scoreline-wise, what can you say in this? It's, you know, will Guardian have the presence now to keep this up? He's had a very big couple of rounds in the last couple, regular and OT, but you know, 17-16, Moses, this is an extraordinarily close game still.
Here's the thing, we've talked a lot about Guardian, obviously, for good reason. But you look at Edward at 31 kills, leading the entire server. Zeus also just had that spectacular last round. So now, I mean, Guardian's played so well enough to the point where he's bailed them out of a tough spot. Now he's got him to a point where someone else can step up the slack.
And to be fair, Edward's kills have been mostly on retakes in these incredibly hard situations, so credit to him for being able to operate on that sort of platform in these sort of situations. So already, Bolts and coldzera are going to be pushing out, but coming back to that, Fallen's going to just whip down Zeus already, and it's going to leave Na'Vi kind of reeling in this one. Guardian's still got the ult, but look how low he is already.
Yeah, almost a double. So damage dealt. Nicely done from Fallen. Saying you can get aggressive and give yourself an advantage, I can too. And now look what it does to the defense. This is the difference we saw when Na'Vi gave themselves that two-man advantage. They gave it right back, but Luminosity, they take that one kill and they just turtle. They're saying, all right, you got to come to us now because we have the manpower to hold everything off.
Okay. Still not gonna write Na'Vi out of this one. Yeah, they've been turning these rounds so perfectly on their CT side. A little harder, of course, on T at this point. And you still got coldzera and bolts holding down towards A. Most presence towards long at the moment coming through from Na'Vi. coldzera just holding the push up from those toilets if they do make something out of this. But 34 seconds left. It is going to be quite the last minute effort coming out. Nothing Na'Vi are too shocked by, but this is going to have to be a big play. Guardian looking for an angle, clearing corners out as he goes. A couple of mollies still alive, but those flashes are actually on the back. I think it was a team flash that actually cost a bit of time. Their nades and mollies going to be put out, but coldzera isn't effective. He's still holding strong. Flamey falls. There's the trade out now, but look at this. It's only 2 left now for Na'Vi. They've got 8 seconds. That bomb is not going down, and Guardian can fight as much as he wants. He knows he's out of time, and he's out of players. There we have it. Luminosity bringing this one back up.
Yeah, no plant as well, so no bonus money. So another buy for Na'Vi, and they're going to be pretty much depleted. Nicely done. And you could see how much Na'Vi is relying on Guardian. He's entering with, you know, after getting his 14 HP, he's the one leading the way with this op. They're saying, please find us this opening kill. We'll take it from there, but we need you to open something up in this 4-on-5.
Oh, is Fallen getting aggressive here? This is dangerous stuff. It's worked out for him. He's got... Oh, Flamey just got caught in the heel. 17 HP now left towards him. Nice little initial damage, and Fallen's going to swing up towards long. He bolts to pick up where he left off, and nice stuff from Luminosity to just extend a little early on. But Fer did take some damage too, so a little bit of a trade out there, but still. 1 minute left and not, well, 1 minute and 15 left. They still have a lot of map to take here.
Yes, they do, and they ran the clock down so low last time around. They're completely willing to be patient and trying to take these bomb sites, but they got to be careful. They can't afford to just let this one die to a round timer. So with this minute, they are going to push forward, 2 towards long, 2 up the highway towards these bathrooms. They're going to start creeping in and taking control. Bolts is right behind it, though, just going to drop and smoke and play behind it. He's going to dodge any kind of a pop flash. And actually, Na'Vi is setting up for this A take.
All right, Fallen and Bolts are going to be the first to notice this. They're the first in line to have to deal with this one. Fallen pop flashing out to long. He spotted them out. Nice little bit of a play on the shoulder peek there. Now Bolts knows what's coming his way. He's waiting it out patiently. Reciprocating what Na'Vi are bringing, but that's the opener they needed. Guardian and Zeus going to break this one wide open now, and coldzera is going to have to be the final buck, but it doesn't stop. Seas carries on. Fer and Steel, not in the ideal place, but not at the right time, but he's still going to make something out of this. Bomb goes down. Nice little spot here to peek over with. Flamey might have a shot towards him pretty darn soon, and it's going to be a tough retake.
Yeah, only 1 nade to work with. Flamey's very low. Baits out the shot, but Fer doesn't commit to it. He's baiting Edward out, or C's out of position, so he gets that kill. There's a fake flash, but Flamey's not going to fall for it. Scoped in, down to a 3-on-1. They're pretty low, but Steel's got to commit so far away from the bomb site anyways, so nicely done from Na'Vi. It's not the op that opens things up, it's the AK-47s. Really, really well done. 18-17, and Na'Vi on map and match point now.
This is the point. You said that they need those opening kills to come out of Guardian, and, you know, whether it be the first or the second, he still was there with the rifle. That's the thing. He's such an imperative member to this guy, this whole team. But then again, they all stepped up into this point, and now Fallen once again going back into this. Brave, I guess you could call it at this point. Again, the tag comes out. Flamey is going to be sick and tired of this man constantly taking him down so low. But last time it didn't pay off dividend.
Well, Flamey was the second person this time, so he's like, what the heck is going on? Why am I always the one getting hit?
Timing. What is this?
Guardian in the stairwell. Going to come up and lead towards the bathrooms. And I mean, look at this from Luminosity. This time it's a little bit more passive. They do have the op on fall, and that's going to be out towards long A, but the rest of them are already turtled up into the bomb site. So not willing to give up any kind of early kill in any kind of advanced position. And Na'Vi not really willing to go chase it down. They're playing their own passiveness, but there's Fallen. No one's there to back up Edward. No one's there to trade that kill off, so a good advantage. Fallen has not only gotten the first kill, he's brought Flamey down to 17 HP.
But can they stop it when they play into these sites? It's in my eyes, I'm just looking at Guardian, you know, I'm looking at C, seeing what they could do. C's just holding the flank here. No one from Luminosity is going hunting. They're just saying, all right, we'll just stick into this. Why would we go looking? We've got the advantage. Flamey, though, pulls it back. Fallen didn't expect him to make the peak like that. And now we're down to a 4v4. Look at Luminosity. Not much utility here. 2 flashes, a nade, 2 kits as well, and it's going to be on Bolts and coldzera. Guardian going to be building into this and then still not rotating the bombs here. They're still on B. The bomb's hitting up on the A site now. Guardian's going to be putting that one down. See the fire coming through, but Flamey's low, Zeus is low, but he's not gone down just yet. Bolts clinging on, but it's still not looking good. 3v3 here. This isn't ideal.
Yeah, one kit, a perfectly executed fake, freezes the rotations from coming in, also forces the A defenders back into the choke point. So now it's all onto this retake. Flamey with 17 HP has got good positioning as well.
Luminosity, it's now or never. Na'Vi are on point, and now Steel is going to find Flamey, but that clock is running low, and the superstar, the man himself, Guardian, is still alive. The damage comes out, Seas finds Steel. Guardian and Seas to close it down.